Michael spotted something in that one as well. I'm just going to update you on that in just a moment. It was Chelsea against Lille again in this one. Salzburg got Bayern Munich. Manchester City up against Sporting. Atletico versus Manchester United. Liverpool drawn against Inter. And PSG versus Real Madrid. Now, as we were watching that draw, they said that Villarreal couldn't play Liverpool, and we couldn't find any reason why Liverpool would not be able to play Villarreal. They're not from the same country and not in the same group. Villarreal, of course, were in Manchester United's group during that. You spotted it, Michael. You think this is wrong again?
I thought it was. It could easily be me, so we probably, obviously, it's going to be all right, I'm sure. But I can't think of a reason why Liverpool, at the end, it just says they can only play one team. And I'm sure Liverpool could have played them as well.
They could have played Villarreal.
Yeah, they weren't in their group.
Villarreal were drawn against Juventus in that one as well. We are chasing information on this right now to see how that progresses. But at the moment, we can't see any reason why Liverpool wouldn't be drawn.
Possibly. The only way is if none of the other teams could have played any of those, so it had to be them. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
Yes, yeah.
Because if none of the others could have played the other two teams, and Liverpool had to then come out of.
Well, actually, Inter couldn't play Real Madrid because they were in the same group, and 2 Italian and 2 Spanish teams, which would explain it. So that would be why. You had me panicking for a moment.
Panicking myself.
You understand why we were questioning this and sceptical because of what happened earlier.
Yeah, well, yes, and they made a mess of it at the start, but hopefully it's all okay now. And maybe they're going to have to look at the process again, because it's very complicated to wrap your heads around, but with all of the different connotations that go on. I'm just happy that Chelsea are still playing Lille, and I'll be able to get on a day trip to France.
Yeah, because those teams that were in the same group couldn't face each other again, so obviously that was the process of elimination there. There was, Joe, though, a big cheer when Chelsea got Lille once again. It was the best case scenario earlier. How pleased are you, though, that it's going to be Chelsea Lille?
I'm delighted. I'm delighted, Leeds. I really am. I'm delighted for both clubs. And it's going to be a real great game. And like I said, it's an opportunity, from a selfish point of view, it'll be an opportunity to see some old friends and go and experience the city again. It's 2 clubs that genuinely I love playing for both of them. Again, Chelsea will have their eye will be on winning the trophy again, because that's where they're at. Lille, is a fantastic club. It's a developmental club, so well run, and they'll be happy to get. They've got a huge European club coming to the town to play, and it's going to be it's easy to get to for the Chelsea fans. Straight on the Eurostar, so that'll be a fantastic atmosphere. And it's just going to be a real good game. And by the way, Lille are no bad side. They've got some good athletic players, some fantastic talent, well coached. And from their perspective, the players playing in Lille, they'll want to win the game, of course, but also it's a shop window. They all want to come and play in England. The Premier League is where it's at. So it's going to be a real great game.
Definitely. It's the only tie that is the same as the draw that took place earlier. So good news for you and for Chelsea there, I think. Let's talk about Man City up against Sporting. They drew Atletico earlier. Sporting, how does that compare? How pleased will City be?
Yeah, they'll be pleased. That's a decent draw. I think it's only Liverpool really that will be a little bit more disappointed, slightly more difficult tie. But Manchester City will be pleased. As we've said, if they draw Paris Saint-Germain, it would have been impossible, I think, because they're in the thing. But I think there's only Paris Saint-Germain in that side that the big English teams will be really worried about. Apart from that, there's different levels of difficulty, but in general, I think the English teams will look at them all and think, we should be getting through here. Manchester City, definitely no exceptions. Of course, they get the advantage of playing the second leg at home as well. Always helps, even though there's no away goals this season. But I think it always helps. So yeah, Man City will be pleased.
They knocked City out 10 years ago out of the Europa League. But how much do you think they'll prefer Sporting to Villarreal?
Well, I mean, let's be honest, they'll be both. Obviously Sporting are a good side, but Man City on the day, they're far too strong for Sporting. But the utmost respect, and I think the Portuguese contingent at Manchester City will be delighted maybe to get a little trip back home. It's a great football club with a great stadium, good fans, but I think City, they'll be delighted. I think it's probably slightly easier fixture than the Villarreal one.
And for Manchester United, it was set to be PSG earlier, so we thought Messi versus Ronaldo. A tough tie, though. Atletico Madrid, Ralph Rangnick up against Diego Simeone. It's a completely different challenge, this, isn't it?
Completely different proposition. And yet, the only people I think will be disappointed will be UEFA, because that tie, PSG against Manchester United, would have been mouth-watering. Messi against Ronaldo, that was a plum tie. But this one,
it could come later.
It could come later, and this one in its own right is going to be fascinating, because you're going to have two high octane, high tempo styles clashing. Diego Simeone, you know what that home ground's like. The fans will be on top of you. It's a great one. Ronaldo going back to a place where he haunted Atletico Madrid throughout his time when he was at Real. So many stories going on. So it's really good. I'm slightly disappointed to have missed out on the PSG and Man United one. That would have been a nice one to sit down, get your slippers on and watch. But that one's a good game as well.
Quarterfinals, possibly.
Yeah, let's hope so.
Who knows? How good a tactical battle do you think that one will be?
Yeah, I mean, Simeone's one of the best managers in the world, isn't he? And he's done a quite staggering job over the years. I think it's a tough tie for Manchester United, but on the backdrop of having to play Paris Saint-Germain only a couple of hours ago, then I think, they'll take it. It's slightly easier than Paris Saint-Germain. Man City is slightly easier again. It's only Liverpool that have got a slightly harder one, and of course, Chelsea have got the same. So, yeah, I think Manchester United's draw is probably about par in terms of difficulty level. And it's a game that could go absolutely either way. Atletico aren't at the top of their form at the minute, nor are Manchester United. So the next couple of months is going to be really important for which way that tie goes. Let's see what the form of the two teams are like leading up to that game. But at the minute, I don't see much between the two sides.